This is Matthew again. So, now I'm going to put another contribution to the AiG project, but this is going to be for an article from Institute for Creation Research, since AiG has been down for about 3 days. My friend and I assume it's a attack. So I'm going to refute Duane Gish's article, A Few Reasons an Evolutionary Origin of Life is Impossible. Okay, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons, apparently. I'm not going to touch on one of them because I don't know much about it, and it doesn't really make any sense anyway. That would be the second one. So, first in his introduction, he says, he quotes Pross, who I don't know who that is, but he quotes him as saying, quote, "The simple answer is we don't know and we may never know," end quote, on the origin of life. And that's true. We might not ever know, and I don't know why that's such a bad thing. I mean, we will probably never know if there is a God or if there isn't a God. We'll probably never know if I killed anyone. I didn't, but I don't know. That was a really bad analogy. Okay, so here we go. His first reason is the absence of the required atmosphere. And he says, our present atmosphere consists of 78% nitrogen, 21% molecular oxygen, 1% of the other gases, such as carbon dioxide, argon, and water vapor. Okay, and then he goes on to say, an atmosphere containing free oxygen would be fatal to all origin of life. That's my phone, sorry. Okay, so basically, there was no free oxygen during the origin of life because there was nothing to make oxygen. Free oxygen in the atmosphere came about with the cyanobacteria, who were the first things to create free oxygen in the atmosphere. And then he goes on to say how in it's the Miller and I forget the other guy's name. But he goes on to say that in his... Oh, wait, that's a different one. God, stupid phone. Okay, so anyway. Okay, here's his real argument. He goes, quote, "Thus evolutionists face an irresolvable dilemma. In the presence of oxygen, life could not evolve. Without oxygen, thus no ozone, life could not evolve or exist." Okay, so the ozone layer back then was actually methane. So we wouldn't need the ozone layer because we had the methane layer, which did basically the same exact thing. Okay, then his third one. I'm skipping number 2 because it doesn't really make any sense. I don't know anything about it. It's the second one is all forms of raw energy are destructive, and I don't know what that means. Okay, now his third one is an evolutionary scenario for the origin of life would result in incredible clutter. And he goes on saying there would be a lot of organic stuff around, and well, there is a lot of organic stuff around. For example, if you look at the sedimentary rocks from about like the rocks in which the bacteria fossils are found, and the fossils or the sedimentary rocks before the first bacteria fossils are found, and there's a lot of organic material in it. So, in fact, he just provided evidence for an evolutionary origin of life. Next, he says micromolecules do not spontaneously combine to form macromolecules, and he says that DNA is not the secret to life. Life is the secret to DNA. But RNA came before DNA, so RNA was actually the secret to life. And he says there's no such thing as a self-replicating molecule, and no molecule could ever exist. That's quite a statement to make with no research, Mr. Duane Gish, who is actually just debates, and that's all he does, and he has quite a big ego. But he hasn't done any research on that, and I haven't either. So to make a claim like that without anything backing up, he doesn't even have a footnote. He has no footnote, and so to make a claim like that without any evidence backing it up is quite arrogant. But anyway, he says to produce a protein, the building blocks are required to form it, and I suppose he's talking about amino acids and polypeptide chains. But you see, I think the current theory is that I may be wrong on this because I don't really know much about abiogenesis. I'm more of an evolution guy, but I think the current theory is either water lapping on rocks is one of them, and then the other one is deep ocean vents, which I think is probably more probable because it makes more sense that the first life would be chemioautotrophs, because that makes sense. I don't know why I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else. It just makes sense to me, but I don't know really where I'm going with this. But micromolecules do combine to form macromolecules. That this can be seen by the combination of fatty acids and lipids to form fats. Wait, not fats. I think that's right. If I am wrong on that, I'll put that in the information box. Next, he says DNA could not survive without repair mechanisms. And he goes in to say, okay, so first of all, RNA doesn't have repair mechanisms. So, and RNA make proteins. So therefore, this argument is bunk, because he says, where is it? Thus, DNA is necessary for the survival of DNA, but that's just wrong, because RNA codes for proteins, and the repair mechanisms, so to say, are that repair DNA, and I guess you could say spell check it before and after the replication are made of proteins, and so RNA is actually necessary for the survival of DNA. So therefore, RNA had to come first, and RNA is much simpler than DNA. So basically, this was a very crappy job of refuting this article. If I have time, I might come back and look back at this one, but he doesn't make any good arguments whatsoever, and they're all not good. Yeah, so I'll see you guys later.